This is episode 553 on the 5th of August 2022. A very strange narrative has started taking place. It has started renting people's mind. And what is it about? It's about everyone's favorite topic. Everyone loves to talk about this. Artificial intelligence. We cannot just let go of this thing called artificial intelligence, and it has started taking hold of something which humans know that is their own creation. Creativity. Human beings are known for creativity, are known for creating visuals, images which appeal to individuals, whether it's through painting, to photography, and through any other domain, through creating content, that is whether video content, audio content, or written content. But now a new narrative has started that artificial intelligence can create images from texts, and soon it might be making movies. If that happens, then that is the end of creativity. Don't expect charm in a script. The whole idea why human beings love to write a script is because human beings know they are flawed, which means they create flawed characters in their script, which means at the end of the day you have a antagonist, a protagonist, and someone somewhere in between. If artificial intelligence takes over, imagine artificial intelligence or a robot taking my place as an anchor for this show or any anchor. Then they will be perfect. They will not make errors. There will be no emotions associated with the topic they are discussing, which means they will make it very monotonous, very boring. Yes, human beings can still make it interesting. Human beings can still improvise. They don't have to follow the script all the time. That's the beauty of human intelligence. But if a robot takes over this particular show or any other show, for example, then no one will enjoy listening to it. There'll be no creativity. There'll be no errors. It will be so perfect that you wouldn't want to listen to it. There'll be no stoppages, there'll be no long pauses, there'll be no mistakes in grammar and other places. That's what we love about humans. They make mistakes. You can practice 100 times, but you make mistakes. But once a robot takes over, or the artificial part takes over, then no one wants to listen to it. It will be so perfect. There'll be no errors, and the robot will know that they have 5 minutes, they will finish in 5 minutes. A couple of minutes up and down, even they will not want to do that because they will be programmed. You have to speak for 5 minutes, don't go 1 minute ahead. But that's what human beings are all about. They can improvise. Even if there is a script, they can modify the script, they can improvise, they can do something different. The artificial intelligence won't do it, the robots won't do it. We think that robots, artificial intelligence make things easy for us. Maybe they do. But then they make us equally lazy. We don't even want to move 1 centimeter because we know everything can be done by this creature. Let me give you some examples. The text to image AI is a very good translation tool for making visual images. It does this scientifically by recognizing pattern. See, it's so monotonous already. Even a painter looks at pattern in the natural world. Everything is pattern matching in some way, and I'm afraid to even guess what will be the future. The sky is the limit. Much of it will be looking like magic. Well, when a human being tries to create something, they do it by instinct. Everything doesn't have to be done scientifically. everything doesn't has to be done scientifically. Because if everything is done scientifically, everything is done in a rigid manner, that what's the point of creativity? It's not creativity. It can never be creative if everything is done with a formula. That's the whole idea. There is no formula when it comes to creating a visual image. There's no formula when it comes to writing a script. You make errors, it's fine, you improve the next time. But if you don't make errors, then it's the end of creativity as we know it. The text to image AI system announced recently by OpenAI called Dial 2 and Google called Imaging. These AI systems can create a completely unique image from a line of text, and the images being generated are nothing short of surreal. I don't think I agree with this. Because then what will the humans do? It will be end of painters, writers, hosts, if such things, such creative profession, such profession in which you can improvise are taken over by artificial intelligence, then what's the fun? Artificial intelligence is fine up to one level. And I can tell you, when it comes to artificial intelligence and information, I do not like the idea of Alexa, because I find the concept of Alexa to be very demeaning to the very idea of being intelligence. Because we say, I never used concepts like Alexa, but what I've seen other individuals use it, do this. What's the temperature? What's the score? Don't even want to make effort to find out things. If the search engines, the digital search engines weren't enough to make us lazy, that we don't even want to read actual search engine, that is newspapers, then I don't see what's the point of artificial intelligence creating images. They'll be perfect, but there is no perfection in creativity. Creativity has nothing to do with being perfect. But we'll talk more about this, because this narrative is going to kill creativity as it is. It's not surreal. I do not agree with what these individuals have to say, because scientists and engineers, they're not creative. They follow a pattern, they follow a formula. They have no creative bone in their body. They don't have a thinking bone in their body. They are too rigid, and therefore they make rigid artifacts like artificial intelligence and robots. But we'll talk more about this later. Let's move on to something more interesting. Let's move on to the Commonwealth Games, a tournament where the greed for gold, the greed for medal continues. Let's start with the men's game. So the last two men's hockey game is where India beats Canada 8-0, routs them completely, and they are very close to reaching the semi-finals of the tournament. In fact, they have reached the semi-final of this tournament, which means they have one more team to beat, and if they can do that, both gold and silver medal is assured. Because for the bronze medal, you still have to work hard. For the bronze medal, you have to lose in the semi-final, which nobody wants. Then compete for a third, fourth place spot. One doesn't know what will happen in the third, fourth place spot. We are still very excited about winning the bronze at the Olympics, which I don't think is something we should be proud of. We should have been ashamed of that. We should have tried to go to the finals of that tournament and at least got us a silver or a gold, because silver and gold is assured. You reach the finals, there is no way you are not getting one of the two. If you work hard enough, you get the gold. If you come second, you get silver. But for the third place, you still have to compete again. But that's how such events are played. And moving on, we beat Wales yesterday 4-1, which means we topped the group, which also meant that, according to the pseudo expert, we don't have to face Australia in the semi-finals. We may have to face teams like England in the semi-final. That seems to be a given. not England, some other team, whatever team, it doesn't matter. We've already drawn with England, so England we are not facing. In fact, at this time, I don't know which team we are going to face as far as the semi-final is concerned. And that's the beauty. If an artificial intelligence creature was here, they would tell you exactly what it is. But sometimes you have to say, no, let's find out. Even if I don't know, I don't know. But that's the beauty. So India beats Wales 4-1 yesterday night. They beat Canada a day before that. And Saturday and Sunday are going to be the finals as far as the longer sport is concerned, that is cricket and hockey. So the men's division has made it to the semi-finals, but how did the women's division perform as far as the sport of hockey and cricket is concerned? Let's look at it one by one. So in the women's game, in the cricket division, India beats Barbados by 100 runs after scoring 162. And of course, questions were asked why this player was not included. Why this player was not included. For me, it really doesn't matter. The fact that we even have a sport like cricket in the Commonwealth Games is turning out to be a big deal, though I don't think it's a big deal. It should have been there, and I can tell you it would have been even more interesting. Imagine if the International Cricket Council had managed to convince the governing bodies that allow the men's team to also play. How interesting would that have been if the men's team was also in this tournament? If you can send a women's team, why not a men's team? Well, sending a men's team insults them, be below their dignity. It would have been a perfect tournament, but the men's team are busy playing their own private series or multi-nation tournaments which will happen in a while. But I would have not been surprised if they had managed to get even the men's division to be a part of it. But India beats Barbados. They win 2 out of the 3 games that are part of the league stage, and they will face most likely England, who topped the other group, in the semi-finals, which is tomorrow. So 2 semi-finals taking tomorrow, and then 7th is the final. But the interesting thing about the semi-final is that by the time the semi-final starts, it will be too late as far as the Indian Standard Time is concerned. It starts at 6 p.m. local time, which means 10:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So what does that even mean? It means I may not be able to watch the semi-finals of the women's division. In fact, from what the schedule says, the men's division, even the men's semi-final starts at 10:30 p.m. So I'll miss both of them. I'll watch the highlights and I'll discuss it. I'm not going to watch a match which starts at 10:30 p.m. and gets over at 2 a.m. It's fine. We miss it. But good job by the Indian women's division, cricket division, that they had made to the semi-finals. And if they can just go past England, they might face Australia again in the finals. And unlike a normal tournament where if you win, only the winner gets the trophy and the check and all the accolades, here the runner-up will also get the trophy, the check, the accolades, the medals and everything else. So this is my proposal. In a normal World Cup, not part of such tournaments such as Olympics, Commonwealth or Asian Games or anything, why can't we have the concept of medals in cricket? Because every other sport has it most of the time. So why can't we do that? Especially in World Cup situations. Why can't we have a situation where 2 teams make it to the finals and whoever wins gets the gold medal, whoever loses gets the silver, and there is a dogfight a slug fight for the third, fourth place. Why don't we have the concept of third, fourth place? This women's division tournament is taking place under 20 over tournament rules, but as far as the medals go, that's under the Olympics Commonwealth rules. And that is the most interesting part of this discussion. But moving on, as far as the hockey women go, they beat Canada 3-2, though they lost to England 3-1, which means they are also in the semi-finals. And it's going to be very interesting as to how this whole thing plays out. The hockey women's division in the semi-finals, the cricket women's division in the semi-finals, the hockey men's division in the semi-finals, and by Sunday evening or Monday morning, we'll know who's got the gold, who's got the silver, and if there's going to be any slugfest, any dogfight for the bronze. Can these three teams get the gold? Well, they have to go through the semi-finalists, which won't be easy to beat. But we all know the Indian cricket women's team is already doing well in their domain, Commonwealth or normal tournaments. The men's division of the hockey does well. Of course, they have been deprived of a world championship and a gold for a while. But apart from that, they are doing well in various tournaments. I think if the women's division team, hockey, manages to make it to the finals of this tournament, that will be the highlight. That will be the highlight, because in every other sport we know we're going to win. We have won enough in weightlifting, we have got enough in boxing, we have done enough in table tennis and badminton and all the combat sports and athletics. We all know there we are doing well. We have established individuals, established rules, and established systems where we do it. But the biggest discussion will be the Indian women's hockey team, who can go to the finals, and even if they can secure a silver, of course you want them to secure a gold, but if they can secure a silver, that will change how women's hockey is viewed, because right now women's hockey is viewed in a very microscopic manner. They go there, they are sent by the governing body, that's a different story, but they don't get that kind of coverage. Even the newspapers are in a perplexing situation. We have the cricket women's team, there's a hockey women's team. Which sport of the same gender should get more coverage? In fact, none of the women's game were televised. I could only see the highlights, because highlights are always available, but they were not televised live. So there you go, that's the attitude the hockey team get, especially the women's division. And at Commonwealth, one can say that it's easy to get the gold or the silver because the competition is not tough, it's not at a world class level. It doesn't matter if this tournament is being conducted and if there are athletes participating in it, irrespective of the domain, whether it's squash or badminton or table tennis or weightlifting or combat sports or whatever be it, it's there. If it's there, it's there. Yes, it has its flaws, but then nothing in the world doesn't have any flaws. Everybody is flawed. If people weren't flawed, then it wouldn't be fun being a human being. That's the beauty of it. this ends episode number 553 on the 5th of August 2022. The next episode on the 8th of August, episode 554, comes to you live on Monday, the 8th of August 2022.